What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you all are doing well, and welcome to this live stream of Super Bowl 60 predictions and preview. And I'm with my guy Santino. What's going on, man?
Zach, you had to bring me back. I'm blessed to be here on this fine Saturday night.
Yeah, so obviously it's been a few weeks since we've gotten some football. We had a little bit of it with the Pro Bowl, but at this point, the Pro Bowl is like the Pro Bowl. It's not even on Sunday anymore. It's on a Tuesday night, and they're playing flag football inside of a practice facility, whatever you want to call that, a warehouse even. So, but we finally are back to some football. But the final football Sunday of the year, the Seattle Seahawks are set to face the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco on NBC. So first and foremost, Santino, I want to ask you, how are you feeling about this game outside looking in as we are the night before the game?
You know, I have voiced my opinion on this Patriots team a lot on your podcast, and I think this is going to be a game in the first half. And I think that this is going to be Seahawks. Got Steelers on the brain. Seahawks the whole way through. But I'm hoping for a good game, better than last year's. That's all I want.
Yeah, no, I agree to it. I think I've been saying this for weeks now, ever since we've known the matchup. Just the way these defenses are right now, I think it's going to be a race to 20. I think it's going to be that type of game. It's going to be tough back and forth. But then another thing, not only is it going to be a race to 20, I think this game is going to come down to these quarterbacks. Drake May, although he's had an impressive season, he hasn't had to do much in this year's playoffs. Like they're not asking much out of him, and they're still winning games. And I think the icing on the cake was last week against Denver. He barely did anything. Yes, he made timely plays, and I know stats don't mean anything, especially from a guy coming with Jalen Hurts and how stats have not been a thing. And like I say, he makes winning plays. I know Drake May, but it's like to the point where it's like the plays Drake May are making are plays that happen in a grand scheme of a game most of the time. Like the rushing play that he had to beat the Broncos, that happens a lot. Those type of plays and stuff like that, like his rushing touchdown. But then in the case of Sam Darnold, I said this after the wild card going to divisional. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him. Like his inconsistencies scare me a lot, and just the way he plays quarterback, that mistake heavy football we haven't seen it as much this year, but he still had 14 interceptions, which was one of the tops of the league, and they finished top of the league. It's just the emergence of this defense, like I mentioned a lot, they're getting back to that Legion of Boom territory, and it's getting scarier by the minute. So
I just Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that Sam Darnold I think is better than Drake May, but I think it's a lot closer than people think. The fact that Drake May almost won MVP this year by one vote over Matt Stafford is absolutely preposterous. Drake May, yes, he had a good season. Is he a top 10 quarterback? I can't sit here and say that. But like you said, he hasn't had to do anything. They've been winning games. Has he had probably the easiest path to this Super Bowl in NFL history? You might. It's not ridiculous to say. Is the emergence of Travion Henderson, Stephon Diggs bouncing back, and this defense playing amazing the reason that they're here? Yes. Now, am I going to sit here and say that Sam Darnold is going to outperform Drake May and they're going to blow them out? Wouldn't be surprised. If I were to sit here and say that the Patriots win this game, I'd be lying because there's no way, unless God forbid they don't run the ball on the 1 yard line. There's no reason that this Patriots team should win this game. Stephon Diggs is the bright spot on offense. Travion Henderson, bright spot. Offense isn't terrible, but when you have Drake May at quarterback, you're not going to win the Super Bowl. You need Tom Brady for this game if you want to win this game. And when you have JSN, Kenneth Walker, that offense with Sam Darnold throwing the ball, slinging that ball, throwing around that pill, they're going to win this game. He could throw 4 interceptions, and I think they're still gonna win this game because this Patriots offense is terrible with Drake May at the helm.
Yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't agree more. It's like the Patriots are the perfect example of they're a team that's a year away. Like I for one did not expect them to be in the position they are tomorrow, but at the same time it's like they're in that position, but you kind of don't it kind of is like a year in advance and it's kind of like there's too many they've had a lot of issues that haven't had popped up yet, but that if they do pop up, I think they're completely screwed. And you bring up the point about Stephon Diggs. Yes, he's been good for them, but I think if I'm not mistaken, he was their leading receiver and he might have just had close to 100 or 900 yards in the season. It's like Diggs has been good, but it's not like he's at the peak of his powers. And then you've had Kayshon Boutte be in and out of the lineup. You've had Pop Douglas who's been good, and then I think the big factors have been the tight ends. Hunter Henry has been huge for them, and Austin Hooper. And it's been Drake May's safety blanket. And then I like what I've seen out of Ramondre Stevenson in the playoffs. He's really emerged as a back. And just as a whole, I think that running back duo they have between him and Travion Henderson has gotten better. But then the one positive thing for the Patriots side that could be the deciding factor is their defense. Their defense is elevated in the playoffs. And I know they're not facing the best offenses. I know you can bring that excuse up time and time again. But at the same time, when your defense is able to elevate, you could have a good offensive scheme coming into that game, and that could be the deciding factor. And what we've seen out of recent history, Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator, and he can coach in some of the biggest games as the OC. If he has a good game plan going into tomorrow night that's able to mess with the Seahawks defense, the Patriots could win this game very easily. But history has shown us that their offense has not been good enough against teams that they should have destroyed, and I think they didn't. So, but when it comes down to it, I want to ask you this. What team, or we talk about quarterbacks and everything, what quarterback you think has the most pressure going into tomorrow night?
I mean, it's actually oh, that's a good question. So, obviously, Drake May has a ton of pressure, almost winning the MVP award this year, and everyone's saying, "Oh, you've had a Mickey Mouse schedule." Like, I don't know who would ever say that the Patriots had a Mickey Mouse schedule, but people were also like, "Oh, Jarrett Stidham, oh, they had an easy path to the Super Bowl." Is this all true? Absolutely. But Sam Darnold is also under a microscope because he has this amazing offense and he has one of the better defenses in the NFL. He has this elite team around him, and if they lose this game, it's gonna be like, "Yo, dude, what the heck?" So I personally think that Drake May has more pressure just because a lot of people viewed Sam Darnold like, "Oh, he's had one good season besides this year. He was on the Vikings." Drake May, it's all like, "Okay, the Patriots completed the fastest rebuild in NFL history. They went from Tom Brady to the next great thing of being Drake May." If he doesn't win this game, people are gonna be like, "Wow, he choked. How dare he? He almost won MVP and choked in the biggest moment." I feel like even if the Patriots lose this game by 3 points and Drake May balls the hell out, people are gonna still find a way to blame him. Am I gonna be one of those people? Absolutely. But I think personally, Drake May's gotta have a lot more pressure than Darnold because if they lose, everyone's like, "Oh, Sam Darnold doing Sam Darnold things. We knew he hasn't changed." But if Drake May chokes, people are like, "Wow, this guy who almost won MVP just choked in the biggest moment."
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I was going back and forth while you were talking. And I'm gonna have to agree with you with Drake May because if you think about it, Sam Darnold's had to come back from his own career resurgence, being the biggest bust, basically saying I'm seeing ghost on Monday Night Football to where he's been now. And he's joined an elite list of quarterbacks that have had 14 wins in back-to-back seasons. And although yes, you bring up the point about the Viking season, but the comeback here, do it with the Seahawks, I think is still impressive. Although if he's not the main contributor, because from where he was to where he is now, a Super Bowl would just be the icing on the cake to what he's come back as an athlete and as a player in this sport. And then if Drake May, I think, just has the more legacy because I think he needs to be able to justify the season he had this year. I think he was had a good season, but a lot of people were putting not even pressure of cupcake schedule. It didn't seem like he had to do much in these games to win. Like he would have some impressive games here and there, but then other times he would barely put up any stats and the Patriots would just win the game. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him to justify himself as a quarterback, and it's if he's going to be one of these guys that maybe he doesn't win the Super Bowl now. And also, here's another thing I want to bring up a perfect example before I get into my other point. Joe Burrow made the Super Bowl in his second year. He's never gone back. Who's to say Drake May makes it, loses tomorrow night? The Patriots never get back. They have a good team, but they lose guys here and there, and they just have issues. Mike Vrabel's
Wouldn't be surprised.
yeah, Mike Vrabel is a great head coach, but sometimes some things just crack through and like say they can't make much improvement because this is a good squad, but it's not a great squad. Like if they still win the Super Bowl, I think they still should be trying to improve in the offseason because this team could be even better than what it is now. And the AFC is only going to get tougher. If the Chiefs brought back Eric Bieniemy, Mahomes should be healthy by October, November. The AFC is going to stay strong intact, and depending on where free agents and stuff go like that. But I think for Drake May to justify himself this season and feel like he has a future in this league as one of the tops, he needs to go out there and have a career game and cement himself. And I don't like to bring up examples like this, but although Jalen Hurts lost in the Super Bowl, he justified himself when he went toe to toe with Mahomes that first Super Bowl because he was the better quarterback on the field that day, and people believed that he could be a mainstay. Obviously, looking down the forward, I could go talk about this, but we're talking about the teams that actually deserve to be in the Super Bowl, the Patriots and the Seahawks. But I think when Drake makes sense, there's more pressure on him because I think he needs to be able to justify that this season he's having right now was for something and why he can be a mainstay in this league.
I can agree with that. The thing is, you mentioned Hurts. I think it's funny because Hurts is a okay. Don't attack me. Hurts is a fringe top 10 quarterback. Everyone's talking about Drake May, like, top 5 quarterback this year. While Hurts is like, okay, everyone gives Hurts hella crap. I give Hurts hella crap. But at the end of the day, Jalen Hurts, when he gets to the playoffs, wins games. And Drake May, I can't sit here and say that Drake May has won these games. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he have more rushing yards last game than passing yards? I believe he had 60 passing yards. 60 passing yards. 60. In the 49ers game, I believe who was it? I forgot the name of him. There was someone
Oh, by the way, he had
who
86 passing yards, 65 rushing yards. So
86 passing yards? We dead ass. I couldn't even defend that if Dart did that. That's terrible. And you also have a guy who was in nomination for comeback player of the year as a receiver, and you can't get more than 100 passing yards in the playoffs? Playoffs? We're not dead ass. Now, am I going to sit here and say that Drake May sucks? He doesn't deserve to be an NFL quarterback. Oh, he's not even top 50. Drake May's good, but so far he hasn't been performing in the playoffs, and now he's about to face his toughest matchup with arguably the best defense in the NFL, and they're gonna give him hell, and they're not gonna score as little as the Broncos did. It's a situation where this Seahawks offense is damn near as good as the defense. They just had the offensive player of the year, Jackson Smith the Jigba. Let me not say it like Drewski did. And
Drewski, man, he's one of a kind right there.
listen, a quick side tangent. Down. That should have won. That was the best play of the year. But sorry, apologies. Yeah, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Offensive Player of the Year. That is the best offensive player this season, according to the NFL. And Drake May has to compete with that. He's not going to be able to.
Yeah, no, no, I like that. The quick disclaimer you gave there because I definitely think, although Jackson Dart missed some games, like I think he was easily the most polished prospect in this year's draft without a doubt, and I think he probably should have won it. They just gave it to Tet probably because he made the playoffs. But also, before I get into things, anyone that's in the live stream right now, drop your score predictions or any hot takes that you got about tomorrow's game, and we'll give the reactions to them. But just talking about things as a whole and stuff like that, and you talk about like the game as a whole. The main thing, main thing that I'm looking at here is like I think I'm looking at the running backs because Kenneth Walker, he's been good in the playoffs, and now that Zach Charbonnet is hurt, he's actually getting red zone touches, which Mike McDonald's actually doing. It's insane. And then you have Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson on the other side. Let me ask you this, Santino: what team has more rushing yards at the end of the game tomorrow?
You know, I'm not going to sit here and act like that Travion Henderson didn't have like a great season and Roger Stevenson has an unhealthy relationship with sharing the ball. But I have to give it to the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, this postseason specifically, has probably been the best running back in the postseason. He's been incredible. And I honestly think, just in general, that Kenneth Walker is better than the other two. But that's besides the point. In the playoffs, he's been playing out of his mind. He's been the best player on this Seahawks offense this postseason. Now, if I'm the Patriots defense, I'm thinking in my mind, wow, we have to either contain Jackson Smith-Njigba, the offensive player of the year, or contain probably the best, I would say arguably the best offensive player in the playoffs this season. I don't think that's crazy to say. So if I'm the Patriots, I'm shaking in my boots because they have the disadvantage on every aspect of the field. They have a worse quarterback, they have a worse offense in general, and they have a worse defense. It's I'm scared. The only thing they had is the coach, and he can only do so much.
Exactly. No, I think I like the point you bring up about Kenneth Walker being the best back in the playoffs. I just think because when it come to these teams, he's just been the one that's been able, not even like, it's not even that he's putting up crazy yards. I just think he's been able to get the most production out of his runs, out of any running back in the playoffs. I think that's been without a doubt because like you look at throughout the playoffs, the wild card at least, there's no running back performances that stand out. It's also tough when you don't have Saquon Barkley in the playoffs. It's always tough. But the thing about Kenneth Walker, he's getting red zone touches. He's been good all year, and I think in the sense where it's like you look at these running backs, you bring up a good point about Jackson Smith-Njigba. And the main thing, that's another main storyline I'm looking into. The matchup between JSN and Christian Gonzalez, best versus best. I think it's going to be either straight lockup for Gonzalez, or I think JSN is going to have a field day. I don't think it's going to be anything in between because those guys are the best of the best, and they're going to be battling. So, but you speak of Kenneth Walker and stuff like that. Do you think the Seahawks pull a part two like they did about 10 years ago?
If I'm being quite frank, I don't think it's going to get to that point. I don't think that they're going to need a situation where they're going to have to run the ball on the 1 yard line to win the game. I think they're just going to, like I said at the very start, this is going to be a one half game. I just don't see a world where this Patriots team can contain this Seahawks. This is I don't like talking about the Seahawks team because there's someone who I have immense beef with who this is their favorite team, but they're so good. I wish listen, JSN, I know you're watching. Come to the New York Giants. Please. Kenneth Walker, we don't want you. But like anyone else, get a ring in 2 years anyways. Just come aboard.
That was a great pitch there, my man. So
You're telling me if you were like a player, you wouldn't have just signed off that?
yeah, I
I
think
wouldn't have even showed up for the Super Bowl. I would have just packed my bags.
now I don't know about all that, turning up the chance to play the Super Bowl and go to the Giants. I don't know about that, but like, uh, but nah, I think with the whole thing, like you said, I don't think it's going to come down to that. I'm hoping not for a blowout. I will say this: I would rather see a blowout than what we saw back in 2018 with the Patriots and the Rams. If I had to sit through another one of that,
If I have to sit through another one of those, I am going to lose my marbles.
I don't blame you. I'll be the same way here because that would be that's freaking Alcatraz right there. I think sitting through that. I think you're placing yourself in there when you have to sit through that. So, but other than that, looking at things as a whole, before we get into our score predictions, is there any storylines that you've seen from this week at this doesn't have to be Super Bowl related. Is there any storylines or anything you've been hearing from Radio Row that you've been hearing over the week that you thought were very interesting and could set up a good off season or anything in particular?
Listen, my mind has been completely off football ever since the Giants signed Matt Nagy. When I saw that, my phone went full. It was so weird. My phone just flew out of my hand and just slapped against the wall. I was like, "How did that happen?" I was just chilling, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Wow, that just happened." And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like genuinely, I have not. I stopped looking at anything NFL related until you were like, "All right, we need you back." You practically begged me.
Nah, definitely there definitely won't be a problem with losing leads now because you won't have any with his offense. So,
Hey, don't act like all high and mighty. You guys aren't even gonna make the playoffs this year.
I mean, you're probably right. I mean, as long as that asshole is still as the head coach of this team, we're not going anywhere. So.
He's phenomenal. Don't disrespect my goat.
Oh, really? You want him? We can give him. He can
No, I'm good.
He could be your head cheerleader, man.
How about he become our offensive coordinator?
Oh yeah, expect Malik Neighbors deep ball. Cam Scatterby up the middle
Okay, but that's gonna work better.
with your
Malik
offensive
Neighbors is better than AJ Brown,
with
so
your offensive line.
our offensive line's not bad.
I don't know.
When it's healthy, it's a top 15.
Top 15.
It's top 30.
Okay. Okay.
That's all I know.
All right. So, but anything else that's sticking out to you that like you saw from any teams? Because I saw today that the Micah Parsons trade to the Eagles was almost a done deal. Because here's the thing, if
Please inform me. I didn't see this.
so, Micah Parsons, Bryce Young, and AJ Brown were all on like a podcast, but it was almost like it was to a live audience at Radio Row. And Parsons is talking, and he's like, I was almost an Eagle, man, but there was a specific player that I wanted to play with that if he was to get it traded, there was no way I was going there. If the Dallas Cowboys did not want Jalen Carter, Micah Parsons would have been an Eagle right now.
Could you imagine? You guys might have not lost the first round.
I don't know about that. The defense was it's not the defense wasn't the problem at the end of the day. It was the offenses of inability to catch the ball AJ Brown or to run schematically good schemes and stuff like that.
Well, but you forget, AJ Brown not catching the ball is Kevin Patullo's fault.
Yeah, man. Like Kevin Patullo, he's just a puppet. The puppet master is Nick Sirianni.
It's funny. I was having a talk with a few Eagles fans. I was like, because they asked me, like, where did your Philadelphia beef start? And I said, the minute I stepped foot on this campus. But because honestly, God, before I came here, my dad is a Phillies fan and a Sixers fan. So I had no qualms with them. He's a Dolphins fan also, which is like so off topic, but I had no qualms with you guys. And then I met a few people. Now I will say, to give credit where credit's due, you're one of the better ones. You don't really. Oh, sorry. Um, you don't really give me any problems. It's just some of your comrades in arms like to act like that Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback.
Okay. I'm gonna get your thought off real quick. We got a comment from Skipper Eating Cheetos 7494. Yeah, his hot take is Drake May is not given enough credit for putting up MVP numbers with an otherwise lackluster offense. Even if he had an easy schedule, he will have a good game and keep the game close.
So, so that name looks really familiar. Christopher, I got a question. Um, is your name happen to be Skipper eating Cheetos? That's your account. Would you like to comment on what you said? Listen closely.
Go ahead, give your hot take, but you don't have to do it right to the, you can do it to the camera or you can do it right to him.
You're a fucking dumbass.
Name one superstar on that offense like Drake May.
Drake May's. There is no superstar. Drake May's not a superstar. He's a superstar.
He had the second best quarterback season in the NFL this year.
No, he didn't.
Who had a better season?
I'd rather have had Josh Allen.
He didn't have a better season though.
I played the fifth.
Won the division.
What?
Patriots won the division with their worst roster.
They won. I put up their schedule.
They beat the Bills.
Okay, that's one game.
Yeah.
It was funny. They had the same amount of wins against teams over 500 as the Giants. Does that make the Giants the best team in their division? We couldn't hold on to a lead.
It might. If you could have held on to some leads, you might have won the division.
We would have.
Yeah.
Even if the defenses were bad, he was playing against Drake May still put up good numbers with not a very good offense at all. And a lot of players were rookies or never on the team before.
Stephon Diggs had 1,000 yards. Huh?
That was his first year on the Patriots.
Yeah, but he had.
He's older and he was coming off, if I'm not mistaken, of injury.
He was. He was almost comeback player of the year. You wonder why he didn't win comeback player of the year? Because he had a shit.
Not only that.
And listen, stats don't say the whole thing. Stats don't say the full story.
I still think that he balled out with a lackluster offense. And it doesn't even matter. Obviously, he was able to beat the Broncos for a very good defense. And obviously,
wait, he beat the Broncos.
His team did, yes.
His team did. You give this whole argument all the time about how Eli didn't win it with the defense. Drake May didn't have 100 passing yards.
Okay, yes, but his Eli is considered a Hall of Fame, possible Hall of Famer because of the team around him.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
To different standards. Not only that, but Eli Manning also at his best won 11 games in the regular season. Drake May won 14, and even though it's an extra game, a couple of those Manning seasons they played very weak schedule.
My thing is that I thought winning wasn't a quarterback stat.
It's a team stat, it is, but they don't do that without Drake May at all. The Giants the Giants get far without Eli.
All right, so Santino, let me ask you this then, since you're very off about this topic and stuff like that. So obviously you're not Drake May. I don't think had one of the best playoff runs so far. He put up good stats in the regular season. As a second-year quarterback, he had one of the better seasons, I think. And obviously, as a second-year quarterback, it's tough to do what he did. And then obviously, you can't do things off stuff like that. But then, let me ask you this: would you say, like you say, winning shouldn't be considered a quarterback stat, right?
Mm-hmm.
How come Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow can't win the big games? When obviously, I'm going to throw Joe Burrow out of this conversation. Lamar and Josh Allen, they've had good enough rosters, and majority of the time, it's been on them why they've lost. So that could be thrown into the counter argument. And yes, Drake May, I think he has a great defense and an average offense. And yes, he didn't put up good stats against the Broncos. Yes, he's been average most of the playoffs. But when push comes to shove, I think Josh McDaniels is going to have a good scheme ready for him tomorrow. There will be no weather element, so they do not have to worry about that. And honestly, if Josh McDaniels lets Drake May loose, I think the Patriots legit have a chance tomorrow. So
I think if they let him loose, there's a better chance they lose that game. That's just me, though.
Okay.
I don't think Drake May's bad at all. I just think that people are acting like that this dude like God among men. And I'm not gonna lie, he had decent stats, but so did some quarterbacks have had like good seasons and they still aren't good. Like his schedule, I know I've heard the schedule a lot. But my philosophy is if you look at the Giants had one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. They had 4 wins, yes. And I'm not even going to bring up the argument where it's like, oh, they could have won almost all those games. They'd be a playoff team, blah, blah, blah. If you give the Patriots the Giants schedule, I don't think the Patriots make the playoffs whatsoever. And if they do, it's by the skin of their teeth. They're a wild card team. They lose in the wild card. Now, we're also saying like, oh, they had this lackluster offense, and Drake May was like an MVP candidate. The reason he put up the stats, and if he had such a bad offense and he didn't have that many that great of stats, how did they win these games then? Is it because their defense just scored all the they had a bunch of pick sixes and fumble returns for touchdowns? No. Because Drake May was good enough to win them the games against these shit teams. If I hate to bring this back up. Patriots schedule. Sorry if I'm going on a rant.
You're good, man.
Let's see. And if the Patriots Broncos 10-7, Drake May had less than 100 yards passing. There wasn't a lot of points scored in general. I'm not going to hold that against them. We look at the Texans game.
That was
C.J. Stroud is maybe the only quarterback I'll say is worse than Drake May. No, Drake May's not one of the worst, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think no. See, they
Patriots Chargers 16-3.
Yeah.
What's up?
I was going to ask, why isn't every team that has an easy schedule have a quarterback that is one of the best seasons every year?
Because I'm not saying that Drake May's a bad quarterback by any means. I'm just saying that he's not a top elite quarterback. He was good enough to where he also had a solid enough offense. Travion Henry broke out when he was getting playing time. Stephon Diggs almost come back player of the year. Is that also? Huh? I also don't know football like that. I don't even know who the Giants number 3 receiver is. But
before you go on, we have another comment, and it's from
apologies.
My guy Spino. He said Justin Herbert deserved the 1 MVP vote. So
that's a beautiful take. Justin Herbert. Wait, so did Justin Herbert technically finish 3rd in MVP?
I think he finished 3rd or 4th, one of the two.
Justin Herbert finished 3rd, right? No! I made a bet at the start of the year with my roommates. I said Justin Herbert's going to finish top 3 in MVP voting.
He finished 4th.
Dang it. But you can't lie. I was close. Oh, no. Yes. I also am a slightly biased because the Chargers are probably my 3rd favorite team.
Okay.
Just because I like their colors and I like the players. But Justin Herbert, did he deserve that? No.
Yeah.
No. But I love it. I love that you're giving Justin Herbert his flowers. Mr. Potential.
Mr. Ifman. That's Mr.
Mr. Ifman. It's my guy.
Josh Allen beat him by 1 with 2 votes, by the way.
What happened?
It was Justin Herbert with 1 vote, Josh Allen with 2 votes.
Josh Allen had 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to find out who voted for him. Because I said at the start of the year, I was like, oh, this is finally his year. McCaffrey deserved more votes than Josh Allen. I think McCaffrey's the best offensive player.
McCaffrey should have finished 3rd. That's what I thought. So
I mean, personally, I think he should have been MVP, but I don't know if I've said it on this, but I do think that Christian McCaffrey is the best offensive player in the NFL. I believe he had combined 2,000 yards rushing.
Close to it. I think he had about 1,300, 1,400 rushing yards, and then just below 1,000 receiving yards. But as a running back, that is completely unorthodox and is
no one could do that besides
immensely impressive. So
almost 2,000 yards total.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
So, but before we actually give our final Super Bowl predictions, Santino, I want you to give me your top 5 funniest moments of the NFL season and your top 5 most angriest moments of the NFL season. These can be your Giants ones, or this can be NFL ones. Well,
Oh, you're putting me on the spot.
yeah, and then we'll get into our Super Bowl predictions to wrap things up.
Well, I'll say, for one, the most angry I've been this season was the Giants-Broncos game. The remote control to my TV shattered. It got so bad that I had to make an apology video and post it on my Instagram story because I had made so many death threats and said so many things to people that I should not have said, who I didn't even know. So I had to make a public statement. So that was on. Let's see. The Patriots beating the Broncos might be up there.
Okay.
I'm trying to think off the. Oh, Cam Scottaboo. Cam Scottaboo and Malik Neighbors getting hurt. That's number 1 is the Broncos. Number 2 is Cam Scottaboo's injury. 3 is Neighbors' injury. 4 is Dart injury. 5 is I just said it. Did I not?
So you said number 1 is an injury?
Number 1 was the Broncos game.
Broncos game. Number 2 was what?
Scat.
3 was Neighbors.
Yep, 4 Dart.
4 Dart, and then I guess
5.
I guess 5 keeping Shane Bowen as long as you did.
Firing the ball.
Okay.
Now, I've been a very angry sports fan. That's the one to think of. Are you saying funniest or like favorite moments?
Funniest or favorites? Like, what's moments that you're gonna remember from this season that you go into next season? It was like, man, this was a good moment.
Number 1 was drafting Jackson Dart.
And by the way, this doesn't have to be all Giants. This can be whatever.
I know.
Okay.
Well, either way, number 1 was the Philadelphia Massacre when every Philadelphia sports team lost. Eagles lost to the Giants. Phillies losing the playoffs.
Well, the Phillies lost 2 hours before, so it was the day. It was
that whole day. Even that night.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. So
you could tell that obviously was a bad night for me, if you can tell from the back. So
really, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I definitely didn't pick the Eagles to win that game, but that's
nah.
Yeah.
You thought the Eagles would beat the Giants?
I guess I was wrong. I guess I wasn't familiar with Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo's game. I also wasn't familiar that I'm going to give a little rant here that we had a worse offense than a 5-year-old in kindergarten that could run. You could tell a kid in kindergarten, try drawing some NFL plays. They probably do a better job than whatever the hell those 2 bozos drew up all season. So, but that's besides the point, and that just shows the inabilities of this organization as a whole, and what's probably going to end the era of Eagles football sooner than it should have. But continue with what you were saying. Sorry about that.
No, you're all good. All good. This is your world. I'm just living in it. Another funny moment was when the Steelers lost in the playoffs. Just the life draining out of someone's face.
Is there any personal bias in that?
Nah. I didn't have a lot of fun this year. No. Number 2 was watching Eagles Cowboys week 1. You guys won.
You don't understand the amount of acidities I screamed out when Jalen Carter got ejected.
I thought it was hilarious. I made money that game. I won $20. I bet $20 on you guys.
My parents thought I was having a heart attack because I was screaming at the TV, and I was like, "What are you doing?" So,
it was justified. Dak's a piece of shit.
Yes.
We can agree on that.
He's a good quarterback, but dude's a dickhead.
Genuinely, if he was on any other team other than the Cowboys, I'd love the guy.
Yeah.
But it's just that.
But like I say, at the 49ers, at the Dallas Cowboys.
Play the song. No, that's number 3 was the 49ers losing to
Oh
the
yeah,
Seahawks.
because that's where you gave the great moment. You want to give any? Because you haven't been on since that video. So and obviously
Hi, Joe.
that video did pretty well. So
It's funny because I actually was on the phone with him earlier because he's a snake. How'd you get on that 30 on that calculus test? 30% as a grown man on a calculus test? No, that's my guy. Like all jokes aside, I love Joe. That's my guy.
mhm.
Number 4. What other good moments happened this year? This is hard because I actually didn't have a lot of great moments this year, just of how like miserable
Yeah.
it was being a Giants fan this year. You
I
couldn't even
think
get
I think
excited.
one of them has to be up there. I think the 21st of September. That was pretty funny because I'm saying this for me. You have Jordan Davis block the field goal against the Rams, and then I switch my television over, and you got Aaron Gunn going, like, dude's dancing.
Here's my thing: is I was so mad when you guys won that game
Understandably,
because I have, it's,
you know who I'm not sad for? Jared Verse. Fuck him.
I don't think he's that good.
The amount of obscenities I'm gonna yell.
I
Quiet.
don't think he's that good.
He's okay. The Rams' defensive line is good as a whole. So,
Yeah,
but
I'm blanking on any other like really good moments. Like I know like the Jameis Winston touchdown on the Lions where he stiff armed him.
yeah,
That was crazy.
that was funny. So, but
I want to give you one more, but I'm blanking.
I think
Another funny moment.
a funny moment is Myles Garrett having 5 sacks and slamming his helmet on the sideline when they're still down by 20 points against the Patriots. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, another. I think 5 was Giants Cowboys week 3. Week 2 or 3?
Week two. Week
2.
Yes.
I see touchdown Dallas Cowboys with like 40 seconds left. I kick this door down, run, and I just start taking a walk. I then get a notification that says Malik Neighbors touchdown. I've never sprinted so fast through my hallway, ran in here, and saw the play happen. It was so hype just for Brandon Aubrey to kill my hopes and dreams.
By the way,
But
talking about that game, is that offensive lineman still on your team? The guy who obviously had the Cowboys money line?
thanks for having me. I have no idea, nor do I care because he never is touching the field again. Harbaugh's going to shoot him. He should.
Yeah.
Terrorist.
So, but obviously, this has been a interesting NFL season, an odd NFL season, I think, to very much people's standards. But let's talk about it. Our predictions for Super Bowl 60 season is over tomorrow. Let's finish it out with a bang, hopefully. Santino, I'm going to start with you first, or do you want me to go first?
I would love for you to start it off just because I don't really know what I want to do yet.
Okay. So I've been going back and forth. I'm going to give my score prediction first before I give my winner. I think the final score, although I said it's going to be a race to 20, I think the final score will be 27-21. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be back and forth, and it's going to come down to a touchdown with under a minute left to go. And I know 27-21, I think there'll be a missed extra point, and they'll go for a field goal at some point. But I think it will come down to a game-winning touchdown, and that person who'll be throwing it is none other than Sam Darnold. I had the Seattle Seahawks winning Super Bowl 60 on a game-winning touchdown from Sam Darnold. He did it on NBC a few years ago. He's going to do it again. Cooper Kupp catches the game-winning touchdown. Seahawks win 27-21 with under a minute left to go, and they are the Super Bowl champions. That's my prediction.
I'm actually gonna. I gotta do this like this so I can really rack my brain. So Obviously, I'm sure you have no idea who I think is going to win, but I think at the end of the first quarter, it's going to be 10-0 Seahawks. Touchdown run from about 15, 17 out, Kenneth Walker. Then field goal, obviously. Patriots aren't going to have anything going. Nothing's going to be working. Second quarter comes. Just Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown.
More of the same.
No. Jackson Smith-Njigba touchdown. Cooper Kupp touchdown. Stephon Diggs touchdown. Kenneth Walker touchdown. He's going to finish the game with 3 touchdowns and win Super Bowl MVP to make up for Marshawn Lynch, his fallen comrade. By the end of the half, it's going to be we got my math right.
So you have JSN touchdown.
31-10.
Okay.
Smith touchdown, 2 Kenneth Walker touchdowns, and a Cooper Kupp touchdown, plus a field goal.
Okay.
I think that fourth quarter is going to that second quarter, it's going to be ridiculous. Then I think halftime's going to come out. Drake May, he's going to march him downfield. Trayvon Henderson touchdown. 31-17. Sam Darnold, interception by Christian Gonzalez. Next play, Ramondre Stevenson up the middle, poked out, returned for a touchdown. 38, I believe, 38-17.
Okay.
Our final score is going to be 38-20. Seahawks win. Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker.
Okay. I like it. I think it's going to be interesting. If that were to actually happen in the game where you have a interception, the Patriots have life, and then Ramondre Stevenson just to get punched out, I think would be very anticlimactic. So, but those
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
This is besides from the football aspect. Is the halftime show going to be fire? What do we think?
I like Bad Bunny. I don't care about this all stupid crap. I might not be able to understand any of his music. I apologize for that. But I think he's going to have a good halftime show. He's a good artist. And more of all, he's an amazing WWE superstar. He's one of the most underrated guys I've seen. His entrance and Backlash. He needs to get back.
Yes.
He needs to, when he's done with this, he needs to get his back in the performance center, get himself back in the WWE because he's amazing.
I was gonna say, I think that's gonna be the first song he plays. It's gonna be a similar pop.
Yeah.
I hope, because I've been telling everyone that this is gonna be a good halftime show. Everyone's like, I don't know. I think a lot of people are gonna like it. Bad Bunny was on the map. He's about to be the map after this halftime performance.
I like that. So, but talk about things getting on the map. Before we wrap things up, Santino, obviously you've had something in the works. You're working on something right now. Would you like to give the viewers something? Because I'll keep it for real. I'm also part of this, but this is Santino and another one of his buddies' main ideas. Go ahead, Santino. Talk about it real quick before we wrap things up.
Ooh, I'm glad you're letting me do this. So, I am starting a wiffle ball league here at Temple University. It's going to be recorded and posted on YouTube, TWA Wiffle Ball. And what it basically is, it's going to be similar to, it's going to be baseball, it's wiffle ball, but it's going to be 5 teams, hopefully get the 6. We're still trying to get more players, but stay on the lookout. You're going to see me throwing some strikes, hitting some bombs, and hopefully Zach's on my team because, we're getting ready to do the draft soon, and I'm looking for my prospects, and I don't know who I'm going to get yet. But, Zach, you're on my board, and I'm expecting some great things. But stay on the lookout. TWA Wiffle Ball. It's going to be something special.
Yes. And I would like to officially come out and say 2 Mike's All Sports will be one of the sponsors of TWA Baseball. So we'll make sure to keep you in the loop and stuff like that. But, yeah, no, I'll make sure not to disappoint. So that's for sure. So if I'm not on your team, then I'll make sure I'll be destroying your team. So
If I'm pitching, that's not happening. I'm gonna keep it a bean.
I don't know about that. I think I might have to give a little Vladdy Guerrero against the Yankees, if you know what I mean. But other than that, I think that's all we got for you guys tonight. Once again, I always put on and given everything that he has. Nothing on context here. He gives you his authenticity. So, but we will talk to you guys later. Enjoy Super Bowl 60 tomorrow. And as I've done in the entire playoffs, and as I hope to do one more time tomorrow, give my reactions to hopefully a great Super Bowl. But everyone who tuned in, everyone who was able to comment, we appreciate it. But this is it for tonight's live stream. We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy Super Bowl 60. Peace.